Craig, you're the president of the Sapphire Coast Historic Vehicle Club. We've just been here with the Classic Rally Club. They've just departed for their the Ire of Man Rally, which I think is a great name for a rally. But you've been hosting them last night and then this morning for breakfast. Can you tell me a bit about the club, when it started, and what you've got here in brief?
Okay, well, the club goes back to 1987, where it was formed by 13 members who got together. Predominantly had a couple of old trucks and old cars, and they decided that they needed to unite and try and share a workshop. They used to share a workshop in Pambula, and then over time they leased this land that we're on now, which is 6 acres of land, from one of their friends, a gentleman by the name of Jeff Greninger. And Jeff had a quarry here, so it was basically wasteland. And then from over time in the early 90s, they basically did a deal with Jeff to buy the land off him. So the club funded and fundraised and fundraised and fundraised and actually purchased the land off Jeff, but at a very cheap price. And then in due course built a workshop, a workshop facility, which was the first thing they wanted. And then that extended into club rooms, and it goes on and on. But you know, and then we've had various things here with the club, whereas the shed we're standing in now was built in 2003, and that was built by members. So 30 members contributed to buy spaces in that shed and build this shed.
So all these cars in here, and we've got 2 rows of them with some at the end, they're all in use on a regular basis?
Yes, probably. Well, I would say about 90% of the cars we have on display are in use. Are all on rego, on historic rego or on rego, and are used. Yes, there is a couple that are not, but you know, basically more because there's an old Chev truck and we've got a T-model Baker's van and things like that that are not really practical to be driven. So
I did look at the 2 Model Ts you had down in the lower shed, and I'm fascinated you've also got 2 very early Citroens as well.
Yes, we do. Yeah. The little 1923 Citroen, that's actually a replica of the first car that was driven around Australia in 1925. So
I did read about that one going around, and it's fascinating that a car that was designed in a completely different environment managed to get all the way around quite a harsh environment. And then you see cars here especially that have got some cultural significance to Australia's growth as a nation.
Yes, we've certainly got a lot of early bodied cars when back in the 1920s, well after the First World War, all the vehicles in Australia, basically the bodies were built in Australia, and many of them were built by the Holden Motor Body Building Company. So and that includes early Fords. But we've also got an FX Holden, FFJ Holden. We've got a couple of an FJ Holden that's a one family owned vehicle, still with the original paint job. So there's a lot of history here.
And even some oddities. I noticed that you've got a Panther in the other shed as well, and it's something I've been actually looking for an owner from one of those, because some of those cars have just turned 50. And I'd like to interview the guy who owns that Panther, because that's such a rare beast. And then yesterday when I came down, I think you had probably one of the most rarest cars on the road, which was a Bristol.
Yes, yep. We've got a 1951 Bristol, I think it is, And that's an absolutely beautiful car, beautiful restored car, built with BMW Precision or the Bristol company which built the planes, and an absolutely beautiful car, But there is a wide variety of fairly rare cars. You know, the big Studebaker in the shed, the Peter Learmont, the Chev, the '57 Chev, which is an original right-hand drive, a Canadian-built Chev. There's lots of odd cars. Yes.
Well, that's the beauty about these places, because every one of your members has got a different passion about a particular car or mark or something, and you've got such a wide range. And I'm just looking at a military vehicle over there as well.
Yeah, the Plymouth Wayfarer Ute, which is a Canadian-built ute, but was built for the Australian Army for the women's the women's part of the army, and it was used as a runaround truck. So yeah, and that was restored from an old farm. You know, went on to have a life as a farm truck, and then was found in a paddock at Bemboka, and then brought back and restored. So
There is actually, I went up to the Narromine Aircraft Museum some years ago, and they had some of the Bristol aircraft up there. And one of them, well, after the war, they hadn't shipped them back to the UK because it was too expensive. So they sold them to the farmers, and the farmers split them for the aluminium to be used for sheds and things, and then the engines were used as pumps and things like that. So there's a huge amount of kit that's floating around. It might not look as it used to, but it's still in use around the country today. And these cars, do you have regular shows, and do you have regular meets where you're getting them out and about?
we do support all the local ag shows, agricultural shows, where we have displays, and then we have some local car shows. And from a club point of view, we have a weekly run and a monthly run, and then we have like an 8-day run at different times. Right. So yeah.
And where would they go to? Where would the 8-day runs go to?
The 8-day run that we did last year, we did all around the Riverina, Leeton, and all around the Riverina and down along the Murray, etc. So yeah. That was very popular. I think there was 28 cars on that. So yeah.
And you're doing a lot for the local community here. Do you support charities as well?
We do, yeah. We support all the local charities. The social justice advocates, we're a good supporter of that. And Ricky's Place in Bega and Pearl's Place in Pambula, which are the food kitchens. We support those. We assist the Surf Life Saving Club, just various charities and whatever we need to do. Another little project we've had over the time is that we've repaired cars that have been gifted to us, old Toyota Camrys and Ford Mondeos, and given them to the people that, the underprivileged people that need a car.
Sure.
Not sure of the correct wording.
I've noticed a number of cars at the back which look like they've been used for spares, so is that part of that? And certainly with the workshops you've got at the front of the complex, they look very well fitted out.
Yeah, we've got a fairly good workshop with 6 bays and a hoist, etc. We've got club project vehicles in there, and you know, and we've got the maintenance there for everyone's vehicle, so they can come in and maintain their vehicles.
And the other fascinating thing that I've seen, certainly in this shed, you've got a lot of the old tools, but you've also got a lot of the motoring memorabilia in the way of books and brochures and other bits and pieces. So you've got quite a vast collection of items here. Yeah,
we do. And we've got a huge collection in the shed here on the walls from a gentleman from Cooma that's since passed away, Frank Rodwell, who donated he donated all those tools, but he also maintained and painted them and repaired them all. Yeah. So, and we've got a lot of his books, and Frank actually wrote a book about cars. So yeah. So we've got a lot of that sort of thing. The other thing that we've got going in the club, which is a really good thing, is we have a mentoring program with the high school, with Eden Marine High School, where we get 4 to 6 students for various terms, like every term of the year, and they come here to learn basic social skills and mechanical skills. Yeah.
So you're really well connected into the community and sharing not only the passion but the knowledge that all the members have gained over the years, and getting younger folk either excited by it or giving them those hand skills that they can then repair things without having to either get somebody else to do it or just throw it away.
That's correct, and that's what we're trying to do, is teach them to be. It's not just mechanical skills, but it's social skills too. But the mechanical side, as far as how to repair a lawnmower, how to start the lawnmower, the basic things to look at on cars. That's been going since 2003, that program, and they built various cars. The little blue T model that's down in the other shed, that's a club car, that was built by the mentoring program. The electric Morris 1000, we've got a lime green Morris 1000, which is called BEV, a battery electric vehicle. The body and all the, not the mechanical parts, but the body parts of that was done by the mentoring program. So they've built various cars over the time.
That's a really, really important thing, I think, to do. Plus you're connecting with another group of people who appreciate the fact that they're learning some very valuable skills in life.
That's correct. Yeah, exactly. Well, a lot of them, well, not a lot of them, but some of them have gone on to be panel beaters, mechanics, etc. And some of them are now members of the club. So it's really good.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thanks for your time. I appreciate the work that you put in for the Classic Rally Club as well, because it was a great breakfast and you know, everybody enjoyed it, but it was a perfect spot for them to get going for today's run. Thanks for your time. It was a real joy to come round and look at what you got in the last couple of days.
You're welcome. That's awesome. That's good. We like to share it.
Thank you.